And my theme tonight also comes from Ni Chang. She gave me the light last week, and we were recording a podcast yesterday. And I said, oh, well, since it was such a great theme, do you have another one for tomorrow? And she said, yes, the dark. And I was like, okay. So that is going to be our theme for today. And there's actually a whole lot of really wonderful, loving thoughts around darkness. And so find your sit bones and connect them into whatever you're sitting on, block, bolster, making sure you're comfy. And if the block is pokey, sit on a blanket or a bolster, something soft, or a pillow. And give yourself a moment to arrive into your body, slowing down body, mind, and spirit in the same spot, and coming back to the breath. We'll take 3 deep breaths, just slowing down and arriving here. And if it's comfortable, close your eyes. And my invitation for much of today's practice is going to do it with your eyes closed. I told Ni Chang, in fact, that during yoga teacher training, we had to do an entire class with our eyes closed as part of the practice. And it was really lovely, actually. And what you might notice when you close your eyes is there's still a little bit of light out there, but that the noise gets quieter, the brain noise gets quieter. And you notice other sensations more, maybe the skin of your hands on your thighs, or maybe you smell something cooking in the kitchen, or noticing maybe what you hear. And in the darkness, all of our other sensations become more astute. We notice them more. Noticing what the breath feels like, sounds like when your eyes are closed. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And enjoying this moment of stillness and darkness. And realizing that darkness is essential for humans. Darkness is essential for rest. And for many of us, it's essential for listening to our bodies, listening to what's going on deep within, listening to dreams, desires, all of those things. And we'll bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. And listening in the darkness to your heart. What do you hear? What do you notice? What do you feel? Noticing if your heart feels happy and full, tired, depleted, warm, cold, all of the things, tight. Perhaps offering it an invitation to fill a little more fully. And noticing in the dark if you can feel that, using the breath. Noticing in the slow and the dark that you can hear your breath. You can feel your breath pouring in through the nostrils and into your chest. You can feel your chest rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. And allow yourself to enjoy it for a moment. Just the breath and your heart underneath. And bring both hands to your belly. Notice, first of all, your sit bones, and once again, root them downward. Find your stable spot. Find your center, find your core under your hands, and align your spine towards the sky. Huge inhale breath, and an exhale, letting it out. And notice your hands on your belly as you breathe in. Notice your belly fill with breath. And as you exhale, let it out. Notice it fall on the exhale. And with eyes closed, notice what you notice. Notice if your belly has any signs or information that you can't hear when you're moving quickly and having this other vision sensation. And you'll bring your hands back to heart for a moment, checking in. And you can bring them up to your throat gently, the top of your neck. And just noticing now here in the dark, what do you notice about your throat? Is there anything there that feels tight or lumpy, things that need to be said? We often have lumps in our throat and we don't know why. And when you turn off the light, closing your eyes and letting yourself be in the dark, you can often hear, you can often notice what that is. And then lower your hands to your thighs, perhaps palms up. As an invitation, in these next few weeks are the darkest weeks of the year. And yet they're also the most light-filled with celebration. And can we use this dark and the stillness and the quiet as perhaps an invitation to go inward and to listen, taking some pauses in that dark, enjoying the dark. We often think of the dark as the dark side or the bad side. But what if there's much that can be gleaned in the dark, in the quiet, in the stillness? What if there's tremendous wisdom in that dark that you never let be seen? Can you connect with it in these moments of darkness? Can you enjoy the invitations of coziness, of the darkness, of rest? The more we do, the more we need to rest. And remembering that rest is productive, just like darkness is helpful and healing and allows us to refill and restore as we sleep. So letting that darkness and the invitation of these early dark nights come in through your hands and just letting it kind of seep in like maple syrup or honey. Noticing how sometimes underwater in the darkness, how that feels, that sense of peace and relief. Letting go is often easier in the darkness. And we'll flip our palms over and we're going to transition to child's pose. And you can do that with your eyes closed or open. And I recommend bringing your 2 blocks towards the front of the mat so you can use them for different things in child's pose, but you don't need to use them right away. So to begin, I recommend knees apart, toes together, bringing your hips towards your heels. And if you need a bolster or a blanket between your rear end and your calves, feel free to do that. And stretch your legs long in front, or your fingers, sorry, lowering your forehead or your third eye to the floor. And allow yourself in this darkness, coming into a bit of a cocoon, wiggling your fingers a little longer and sinking your hips down. Allow yourself to soften in here. And if you need more support or bolster to drape over, do that, or a pillow if this is too uncomfortable. You want to be comfortable. Connect with comfort and allowing yourself to be comfortable.
And with your head down, come back to the breath. Noticing your third eye, that wisdom in the forehead. And you can massage those muscles in the forehead against the floor. Massage your thinking muscles, your worry muscles. Allow yourself to enjoy that in the dark here. And when those muscles are happy, you can come to stillness, or if you want to do more, enjoy that. And here in the dark, notice your heart space. Notice what it's got to say. We'll be here 5 more breaths with the hands straight in front. Letting yourself enjoy the darkness. Notice how darkness feels. Notice that stillness, almost as if you're floating in water. Setting an intention to befriend the darkness. What lessons are in the darkness? What learnings are in this darkness, in this quiet, in this stillness? Walk your hands over to the left. The left hand's going to be on the left edge of the mat and the right hand atop. And enjoy your right side here. This might let a little bit of light in. Noticing that darkness has so many levels of darkness. And yet the darkness can be delicious and delightful and feel amazing if we let it. Notice your automatic jump to think that darkness is negative. But what if darkness is relaxation and rest and ease? Floating. Letting go of the resistance. Walk your hands back to center and over to the other side. Your left hand will be atop the right. And enjoy your left side body here. Let yourself enjoy the stillness and the darkness. You can even intertwine your fingers here as if you're holding your own hand. Notice the skin to skin. When your eyes are closed, your skin sensations are much greater. We'll walk our hands back to center. Bring your forehead back to center and widen your arms to the outer edges of the mat. And notice your chest lower a little further. Enjoying that. We'll be here 3 more breaths. You can massage those thinking worry muscles again. They would like some attention. And when you feel complete, we'll press up to hands and knees. You can keep your eyes closed here. It's pretty cool to do yoga with your eyes closed. Your hands will be under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and the tops of your feet on the earth. Inhaling for a cow pose, and notice all the sensations in your back and belly with your eyes closed. And round forward into cat. Noticing how different it feels with the eyes closed. Inhale for cow once again. Sit bones reach towards the sky. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. And exhale, rounding up into cat. Come back to center. Keep your eyes closed and turn your head towards your right hip and your right hip towards your head. You're going to have a little side twist. And then you'll go the other way. Left hip to the left, turn your head towards the left, and you'll have a nice little side stretch. We'll do that one more time with your eyes closed. Hips to the right, head to the right. Head to the left, hips to the left. Just noticing your belly. Come back to center and you'll lower your elbows down. Come into puppy pose. The dog can join us here. Lower your forehead to the floor and you'll walk your arms forward. Your rear end is sticking straight up and you'll enjoy a stretch in the shoulders. Huge breath in and out. We'll take 5 breaths here. Back up slowly, keeping your eyes closed if you can, to hands and knees. We're going to come into thread the needle, and you'll notice if you want to use a block or don't for your ear. You want to use a block, you'll put it between your hands. Reach your right arm towards the sky. Gently thread it through the left hand and the left knee, and you'll roll your right ear to the floor. Some of you may want to put your ear on a block. It gives you a different stretch in the shoulders. And you'll walk your left hand far forward. Your head's going to end up in your armpit where it's a bit dark. Keeping your eyes closed or closing them when you arrive. Notice that sense of melting. We'll be here 5 breaths, letting yourself soften in and enjoy it. Slowly bring your left hand back by your face and untangle your arm, wrapping it up towards the sky, just noticing whether your wrist needs a circle. Coming back to tabletop. Find your center. With your eyes closed, it will be much easier to find your center. Inhale, raise your left hand up. Thread it through. Left ear is going to come to the floor. And you'll stretch your right arm long. And notice if you prefer blocks or no blocks. There's no right answer. Your head is going to land once again in your armpit, letting your arm provide the dark. And allow yourself to melt in here. Use the breath to help you soften and let go. Often in the dark and the stillness, it's a little easier to let go. Perhaps inviting heaviness to float away. Reminds me a bit of those float tanks. And you'll bring your right hand back by your shoulder, by your face, pressing into the earth, untangling, and coming back to hands and knees. And we're going to lift up to downward dog here with your eyes closed and just hang out there for a moment. You can also come to hands and knees, but notice the sensations with your eyes closed here. Letting it be a rest pose. Downward dog is meant to be a rest pose and a stretch pose. Enjoying the breath here, letting things reset. Big breaths pouring in and pouring out. Slowly, when this stretch feels complete, walk your hands towards your feet. We're going to come into a forward fold, and you can sink in and relax here without blocks, or if you want to stack up 2 blocks or 3 blocks or use a stool for some of you, forehead on the stool on the floor, and allow yourself to close your eyes once again with the third eye down. Pressing the third eye into the floor, lots of stability here, and allow yourself to hang and release in that darkness. And we'll be here for about 5 breaths, long, deep, cleansing, nourishing breaths. Keep breathing. And notice things shift. Notice what you hear in the darkness. If the darkness were a friend who could receive what you needed to let go or listen, oftentimes it's easier to see what you really want in the darkness where no one else can see it. And from here, you will come in towards your hands. Just put your weight in your hands and bend your knees. And coming down to a seat. And we're going to do a hip opener. And I know at least some of you here, you'll all need something different. So a couple of options. You can do pigeon with head down. And I recommend unsupported, just for more of a darkness experience. You can lie on your back and do a figure 4. Or some of you will want to do double pigeon, which is the right ankle over the left knee. And if you're seated doing double pigeon, stack up those blocks just the way we had them, so you can put a head down. So you'll be head down like this if you are in double pigeon. You can be on your back, right ankle over left knee, and you'll lift your knee up coming into that figure 4. Or if you want to do pigeon, you will come to hands and knees, and you'll gently bring your right foot between your hands, bring your right knee to the outer edge, right foot to the left edge of the mat. Slide your back foot back and fold over into pigeon. Wherever you land or whatever works best for releasing your right hip, close your eyes. Notice what happens when you do. Notice how noticeable the breath becomes in the dark. Allow yourself to use the breath to send it to any tight spots, to invite release. We'll be wherever you are for about 5 more breaths. And just a reminder, you can be on your back doing a figure 4 stretch with the right ankle over the left knee, a seated double pigeon, or a full pigeon on the floor. We call this reclining pigeon. If pigeon hurts your knee or double pigeon hurts your knee, then come to your back and do the figure 4. And you can keep your left sole of the foot on the floor or pick it up and grab the hamstring, the back of the left hamstring, as you thread it through your legs. Keeping your eyes closed as much as possible and enjoying that dark. Noticing how good the darkness feels. We tend to have a black or white mindset as physicians, and black being not good. And yet the black can also be amazing. The dark can be amazing. Letting ourselves see things from different perspectives. And knowing that light and dark are both necessary for human survival. Stillness and rest are necessary, as are movement. Quiet and noise, same thing. Enjoy the quiet that the darkness offers. Enjoy listening to your breath, whatever noise is in your ears, with your eyes closed. You're on your back doing figure 4. You'll untangle your knees and hug your knees into your chest and have a rock and massage your sacrum. If you are in double pigeon, seated, you'll move the blocks out of the way, stretch your legs long, and enjoy a forward fold. And if you're in reclining pigeon, you will slowly lift up, untangle, and come into a downward dog between sides. All of those poses are to kindly release your back and release the kinks and any cramping in any side. And when you feel ready, taking your time, no rush, and if you can, with the eyes closed, come back to the breath. And you'll slowly transition to the other side. Bringing the left knee between your hands, left foot to the outer right edge of the mat, slide that right foot back if you're coming to reclining pigeon. Your left ankle is going to be atop the right knee if you're in a seated pigeon, and your knees are closer together, about shoulder width. And if you're on the floor, left ankle atop right knee in figure 4. Choose what works for you. None is better or worse. They're all just better for different bodies at different times in different seasons. And when you arrive, we'll embrace this season, especially these weeks of extra darkness. Sinking into it, not resisting it, enjoying it, welcoming it, embracing it. Noticing how the darkness makes us feel. The relaxation the darkness can bring when we decide to soften in and relax. You notice any pockets of tightness, take a breath and send it into those pockets. When this side feels complete, you will transition out once again into a forward fold, a downward dog, or knees into your chest. And we're going to meet on our backs, lying down. So those of you in figure 4 can stay where you are. And you will have soles of the feet on the floor, knees together. And we're going to come in that knock-kneed position. Bring your arms above you in a cactus shape. And you're going to drop your knees to the right with eyes closed. Let them fall and enjoy the left psoas and hip, and adjust your bottom, your right knee, such that your back is happy. Notice what happens if you straighten your right arm, even with eyes closed here. Notice the slight difference in the spine and the back. Breathing in and out. Letting yourself melt here. If you happen to have an eye bag for these lying on your back poses, it might be helpful if it's bright, or turn down your lights. You can also place a hand over your eyes if that feels better. Rebend your right elbow, coming back into a cactus shape. And you're going to take your right foot and place it atop that left knee if you want a little bit more stretch. Notice what happens. You'll notice immediately if you like it or don't. Untangle it and allow that left knee to fall a little farther towards the front left right corner of the mat. If it's bright, find some darkness for your eyes. Your hands over your eyes, a pillow, a blanket. And we will slowly switch sides, bringing your knees together, knock-kneed once again. Reorganize your spine and your shoulders, being exceedingly kind. Knees together, feet at the outer edge of the mat. You're knock-kneed. And you'll drop your knees to the left. The right knee is going to energetically reach towards the front left corner of the mat. And you may have to make some adjustments based on your space here. Get yourself really comfortable. And protect your eyes. Bring your eyes into the dark. And notice what happens when you do. You might even put an arm over your eyes and notice when it gets really dark. What happens? You want to straighten your left arm towards the sky. You'll notice a slight twist, a slight change, shift. You want to bring the left foot atop the right knee. Notice if that feels good to your psoas and your back or not. Everybody is different. Be kind to yours.
I like to say every body needs a friend. You might as well befriend your own body. You guys are in it together for the long haul. Bring the left foot off the right knee and allow the right knee just to fall without any tension towards the front. Notice how that feels. You'll rebend your left elbow if it's bent. Bring your knees back to center. Reorganize your hips and your sacrum. So your sacrum is flat on the floor. You're going to bring your knees to hips width approximately. You're going to take your right foot and bring it up towards you, bringing it between the triangle of your right knee. So between your right heel and your rear end. You're going to slide that right foot underneath and allow your knee to fall out to the right. And you're going to notice a really lovely stretch in your thigh. You could wiggle that right foot a little farther to the left. Notice what feels good. And pause there. You can have your arms over your face if you want to be more in the dark. Cactus shape over your head. Notice what feels good here. And allow that whole right side to untangle. Send a breath there. Notice what feels good to your thigh. Sending it breath and kindness. It rarely gets stretched in this way. You want more of a stretch, you'll wiggle your right heel towards your rear end a little bit. Let it melt. And once again, if you have moved back into the light, bring an arm over your eyes and block the light out. Notice what happens. Slowly untangle that right leg and you'll bring your right foot alongside the left. Even out your sacrum once again. And you'll bring the left heel and foot towards that triangle, slide it through and allow that left knee to fall to the earth. And allow your leg and hip to stretch deliciously. Find a spot that feels good to you. You may need to move your right foot farther forward. Notice what's the most wonderful stretch for your body and let that happen. And when you found it, settle back into the dark. Noticing as you practice if it's getting more comfortable to befriend the dark, to welcome it, to enjoy it, to float in it. When this side feels complete and equal, you will slide that foot out, untangle them. And we're going to come into a supported bridge. So you will either take a bolster or a block in your right hand, bring your heels towards your rear end, lifting up your hips, you'll slide the block under your sacrum, either on the flat setting or the medium setting, but not the highest setting. That's not meant for restorative yoga. And when you arrive, you'll allow yourself to settle in and close your eyes. You can bring an arm over your eyes if you need to bring the dark back, or an eye pillow if you happen to have one. And allow everything to return back to the heart, back to your head. Allow the hip flexors to soften and melt. Using this as an opportunity to refill, restore, and relax. Notice how much easier it is to relax in the dark with the eyes closed. See if you want to adjust your block or use a bolster or pillow instead if you don't have a block, and settle right back in. Notice if you need any readjusting, gift yourself that, and settle back into stillness and quiet. Allow yourself to enjoy the dark and the stillness. This sensation of refilling. Last breath here. And you'll lift up your hips and slowly slide the block out and allow yourself to arrive on the floor and rest there for a moment. Notice how it feels. Notice your nervous system. Notice the sensation of the earth underneath your back. Notice what support you have. And we're going to slowly transition to reclining butterfly. Soles of the feet will come together. Knees will fall apart. You may want to take the blocks and put them under your knees to support them. Do what's most nourishing to you. And once you've taken care of your knees, bring a hand to heart and a hand to belly. Close your eyes and settle back in. And notice what you notice here. Gently bring your hands to the outer edges of your thighs and you'll draw your knees together. Rolling over to the right side, pause in that cocoon for a moment. Getting anything untangled that needs untangling. You can use your arm for a pillow with your eyes closed and notice the settling and the shifting. And we're going to flip to our belly for Shavasana today. You're going to come to lay flat on your belly, using your hands, hand on hand as a pillow, and your third eye resting on your top hand. Untuck your toes. Get your arms and shoulders super comfy. And allow the front side body to melt into the earth. We spend very little time on our belly. Allowing this side of your body to enjoy the sensations of being held. Noticing the pressure on the third eye, on those thinking, worrying muscles. You can massage them even into your hands if they would like a little massage. When you do this massage, you notice you have tense worry muscles, thinking muscles. We do a lot of thinking. Taking in a big, deep inhale, pouring it all the way down into your belly. And a huge exhale, release and melt in once again. Allowing yourself to lie here in stillness, completely relaxed. Allow yourself to refill and reset and restore here.
Gently start to deepen your breath. And slowly start to wiggle fingers, toes. I invite you to press back into a child's pose for a moment as a transition. Pausing there, undoing any kinks in your shoulders and your hips. And when you feel complete there, slowly transition to a comfortable seat where we began. When you arrive, drop right back into that Shavasana feeling, closing your eyes, finding your sit bones on the earth, taking in an inhale, huge inhale, scrunch your shoulders up towards your ears. And exhale, drop the shoulders and release. And allow yourself to sit here with eyes closed. Coming back to the breath. Recalibrating. Noticing how you feel. Notice the earth beneath your sit bones. Notice your pelvic bowl. Align your spine. Reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Breathing in long, deep, nourishing breaths. The chest will rise and fall. And with your eyes closed, notice the breath. Notice how it sounds. Notice how it feels. And one more moment to notice this darkness. Notice the feeling of the darkness, like a cozy blanket. Sitting in front of a fire in the darkness, candles in the darkness, fairy lights, tree lights in the darkness. They wouldn't be beautiful without the darkness. And the invitation as we end this evening is to embrace it, welcome it, enjoy it while it's here for the next few weeks. Enjoy the most darkness that we can have. Enjoy that quiet, calm, nourishing, relaxed feeling we have in the darkness. Bringing your hand to heart and another hand to top. Wishing yourself well. Wishing everyone here who's joining us well. And wishing the world well. May you all have a beautiful rest of your evening and a beautiful sleep and a beautiful week ahead. Namaste.